This is Paul Turner, the immigration barrister at Imperium Chambers. For once, I agree with Priti Patel. Comes as no surprise, but the reason why I agree is that Priti Patel admitted that the asylum system is broken. Well, why no amnesty then is obviously the first question. But going on from there, Priti Patel finally admitted that the asylum system is broken in the United Kingdom. Something that people who have been waiting 3 years for their claims to be decided will certainly agree with her on that. Her recent attempts to lock up asylum seekers in unfit accommodation failed to address the problem, as well as some of her previous efforts. Another silly idea that's been brought forward is to process asylum claims on old ferries. She really is obsessed with the past. The last time people were kept on ships was hundreds of years ago, when they were used as prisons, prison hulks they were called. Coupled with her idea of sending asylum seekers to Napoleon's last home in the middle of the Atlantic, again something that happened about a couple of hundred years ago. Having found abandoned army camps to be unhealthy, and that wasn't just me, that was the court and various other organisations, I'm not sure an old ferry, if anyone's ever been on a ferry, is going to be much better, especially during the coronavirus pandemic. But what do I know? I've only been doing immigration for some 20 years. So I've seen a fair few changes during my time. Why she is so fixated on asylum claims is puzzling, given that the number of people claiming asylums is far lower than, say, 20 years ago. But it could play that it plays to the right wing. And given her fondness or support for hanging, it might be said that she fairly well leans to the right. However, looking at her proposals, what she proposes is safe and legal routes to give people a chance to resettle. Now, this sounds fantastic. She promises that what we want to have is an end-to-end reform to make sure that our system is functional. Well, that is a very blatant admission that it's failed or it's hopeless. But an end-to-end reform, that's going to take some work in my experience. The argument is that if there are safe routes, that will stop people smuggling and trafficking, which is a laudable aim. I'm certainly not going to say that that's a bad thing. That certainly would be a good thing, to stop people falling into the hands of traffickers, because some people have horrific journeys to the UK. But at present, there are only two safe routes into the United Kingdom, legal routes, and they're designed and organised by the government. One is family reunion, and second is the Syrian resettlement programme, which has only seen some 25,000 people resettled in the UK in over 6 years. Not exactly a huge amount given the destruction of that country and the ongoing civil war. Also, there's a large amount of concern that it will be for the government to choose which countries it says need these routes. Currently, the Home Office considers Afghanistan and Iraq safe countries to return people to. According to her, they're not war zones. Well, not after we finish the war there anyway. Also, I don't see many package tours being organised to Kabul or Baghdad at the moment by any travel companies, even given the coronavirus pandemic, probably because they're very unsafe. In reality, it looks like a way in which the government will try to cut the number of asylum seekers, but this may well be unlawful under international law and the Refugee Convention, which says that you can't return people to countries where it's unsafe. In reality, in my view, no matter how they get into the United Kingdom. However, having admitted that the system is broken, again, I come back to why not have an amnesty before trying to refix the system that is broken while you have 1.5 million people that are undocumented and living under the hostile environment. That's just my view anyway. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. This is Paul Turner, the immigration barrister at Imperium Chambers.